Hi everyone. Today we are going to be looking at an advanced use case of a synchronization between a Jira instance and a ServiceNow instance. So the requirement is pretty simple, whereby any comments which are added to the Jira issue should appear as work notes, which is an internal note essentially on the ServiceNow side. So any comments which are coming in from Jira should appear as internal comments on the ServiceNow side. That's the first requirement. The second requirement is that if any change is made to the summary or essentially any field, so I'm just picking summary for this use case video. But if any change is made to the summary field, that change should be logged as a private work note on the ServiceNow side, rather than the field being synced both ways. So let's take a quick look at how this works. So I'm going to first start by looking at the default behavior. What that means is that I'm exalating this ticket without having added any sort of configuration. It's just standard what comes out of the box. And I've got the incident number. Let's open our incident. And what I expect is that the summary field has synced to the short description. And any comments that I add out here now will appear as normal comments on the ServiceNow side. So this is what I expect right now. So the comments that I made will appear as normal comments in ServiceNow. And if I make any change to the summary, then that change will reflect on the target system in the short description. So basically, essentially, the summary is mapped to the short description, right? So any change you make to the summary will reflect on the short description, as you can see. So this is what works out of the box. Now, to tackle the first use case whereby we want all the comments coming in to be internal, we'll start by looking at the ServiceNow incoming sync script. And the line which deals with comments is line number 10, right? So it's just literally merging the comments with whatever is present already. We're going to comment this out, and we're going to use this line whereby we're using the merge comments method of the comment helper class in order to merge the comments between the issue and the replica. The thing that does the magic out here is this little closure right at the end, which basically says that treat every incoming comment as an internal comment. Now, there's no complicated logic there. It'll just simply mark everything as internal, and that would appear as a work. So this is pretty easy to test. We'll just publish this. And actually, we can use the same issue to test this out. So now comment number 3 should appear internal because the configuration has been made, and certainly comment number 4 as well. So we'll go to the ServiceNow side and see what happens. So yeah, the comment number 3 is already has already come in, and it's being treated as an internal work mode. You can see, and same with comment number. So yeah, that's how to deal with the comments. Now, the summary to description, summary to short description is slightly more complex. I'll tell you why. So when it's the first sync, that is when you would like to populate the summary, right? So the line that does that is line number 7. I'm just going to copy it, and I'm going to take it inside the first sync block. So what I'm saying now is that every time that there's a first sync, a new ticket is coming in, update the short description with whatever summary is coming out from there. That part's fine. But on any subsequent syncs, I would not like ever to change that description. So I'm going to comment that line out. But you've got to have a mechanism whereby if there's a change to the summary made on the remote end, you still want to add a comment or some logging out there. So for that, I'm going to use this if condition. Let me just put it there, which is pretty self-explanatory, but let me just explain you what I'm doing. So the heart of the matter is essentially this if condition. So I'm checking if the previous summary and the replica.summary are different, thereby realizing that there's been a change made to the summary field on the remote side. Then just simply add a comment to this effect that a new description has been added or whatever. And I use the add comment method to do that. So once you add this comment, make sure that the merge comment statement is after that, so that once the comment is added, it's merged after the if condition. So we'll publish this, and I think in order to properly test this, we should really exalate a new issue. So this is the one which I've got. Yes, just to avoid the confusion of all those internal comments which we made to test the previous issue. So just bear with me a few seconds while this exhalates. Cool. I've got the incident number. We'll open the incident. And so far, I expect the short description to be exactly the same as the one which was in the Jira issue. Remember, this was your first sync block, right? That's that one triggering. But if I now make a change to the summary, this change should not reflect on the short description, but rather this should log a work note saying that the new description is now the modified sync behavior iteration one, or whatever the case is. And yeah, your original short description remains untouched. Everything else works pretty normally. So you can add comments, and they should appear as normal work notes. Just wait for it. Yeah, and again, I'm going to show you this another change. So this will be iteration number 2. And what would happen now is that another work note should be added, right? So I don't expect the actual short description to change, but I would expect another work note to be added to the effect that a new description has been added. So I hope that part is clear and you're able to implement this on your own. Thank you very much.